Okay, we'll get started. Coach Mazey, you want to start off with a statement?
Sure. You got looking at two guys up here, one that's not too happy and one that's pretty happy. And I'm the one that's pretty happy. When you look back on the season we've had, it's really been a great year, considering we were picked to finish 8th in the league, and that's pretty normal for us. But you have no idea going into it how good you're going to be, and really only went into this thing knowing that Ben was probably one of our only returning pitchers that has had any amount of success. So for us to do what we did this season says a lot about our kids. We haven't lost 3 games in a row this whole season, and not too many people can say that. I think our record after losing a game is now 15-6 or something. So the character of this team is that get your backs against the wall and you play really good baseball. And today just didn't work out for us. I say Ben's not the happy guy up here because he wasn't too happy to come out of the game, and that's why I love Ben, because I wouldn't want to coach a guy that's happy to come out of a game. But he's a great competitor, and wanted to go through the order one more time. And our bullpen's been really strong for us this whole season. Our bullpen really has salvaged this season for us, to be honest with you. Ben's the only guy on the staff that consistently has gone deep into games. So our bullpen was fresh and ready to go, and we turned it over to them because I thought today would have been a big win. So they just they couldn't hold it.
Well, we'll take questions.
Angelica Trenone, yeah, we know.
Golden Blue Nation, don't leave that part out, Coach. Well, you started talking about Ben, so let's go with that topic. How do you think he was able to, after the first couple of innings, hold Kansas State scoreless for the next few? What adjustments did you see from him out there? And then, Ben, when Coach is done, if you could answer the same thing about yourself, please.
Yeah, it's to the hitter's advantage to face a pitcher. The more you face them, the easier it gets. And he pitched really good against Kansas State at our place, and I think they started off the game sitting on the breaking ball a little bit. I think their first 3 hits were off curveballs, so we kind of scrapped that and went to a harder slider, and he was getting more swings and misses on the slider. But at that point, some damage had been done, and we didn't swing the bats down here that great. But that's what he can do. He's a good enough pitcher that he can adjust on the fly like that, because he's got 4 quality pitches that he can throw any time. So if they're hitting one of them, we can go to another one of them. And if we score 6 runs and he has a 6-3 lead or 6-4 lead, he probably stays out there. But we just had to change the momentum a little bit. I thought they were pretty comfortable, and the top of the order was coming up. Johnson had already hit a ball to the fence. So did Goodwin, and Phillips had a couple hits. So we just wanted to give those guys a different look.
It didn't seem like my fastball was cutting it all today. It was a little flatter, so kind of making an adjustment off of that and really getting it in more, throwing more breaking balls that were a little more firm because they were waiting back on the curveball. And then changeup wasn't necessarily on today, but throwing that when I could just try to give him a different look of the ball going away from a right-handed batter.
What else?
Luke Wiggs, U92 Student Radio. Ben, is it a bit of an added challenge facing the same team within 7 days' time and back-to-back starts?
I would say they probably have a little bit of an advantage, but I think we understood what we could get each hitter out with, and unfortunately I didn't have a pitch that was really getting them out today, so if I did, I think the score would have been different, but that was the biggest challenge, is facing them again, and they just saw me 6 days ago.
Other questions?
Joe Healy, Baseball America. Coach, how do you approach the next few days now, headed back home, and just kind of waiting out until Monday to kind of figure out your fate from here? How do you approach that, and what's the message moving forward now?
Yeah, I just told the guys, I was like, don't anybody leave this huddle right now thinking the season's over. It's as good as we've played this year. I think we've put ourselves in a position to play in the postseason. If we don't, somebody's going to have to really explain to me how that happened. So we don't think the season's over. In retrospect, if the season isn't over and we do play in a regional, getting the rest we're getting ready to get is a benefit to you. You know, if you play deep in a tournament, play 4 or 5 games here and have to turn a couple pitchers around a couple times, then you could go into a regional pretty tired. But when they announce our name on Monday, we're going to go in there pretty fresh and excited.
Coach, Eric Sorensen, D1 Baseball. Good to see you. What was it about the offense here that kind of just bogged down a little bit as opposed to what you guys have been doing for most of the season?
You know, just for us to have success, we got to get guys on base and use our speed. And when you do that, early in the year, we were getting guys on base and stealing a lot of bases, but nobody was driving them in. So some different things have to come together for us to have success. We weren't able to run much down here. I think we only stole a couple bases and, you know, didn't get a big hit. Oklahoma got one big hit yesterday, and we left a couple guys on base early in the game in scoring position and just never really got a back-breaking hit. But we were in a position to. You know, we had enough guys on base in both games to do that. But, you know, you play a long season. Everybody goes through a period in the season where you lose 3 or 4 games in a row and you're not playing well. That hasn't happened to us this year. Maybe this is it.
Other questions?
This is for Ben. Just what was the feeling in the dugout like throughout the game? It seemed like you guys might have been a little flat. Is that a fair assessment?
Definitely a little flat in the first 2 innings after I didn't go out there and give us quick innings. But when we put up a 3 spot in the third, the energy started to get up and put up a couple zeros, and we had the energy on our side and give up that run. And I guess it brought us down a little bit, and then the home run after. And I guess the energy kind of fell down a little bit, but we were putting guys on base and got energy going when that happened, but weren't able to get them in.
Anything else before we let them go? Good? All right. Thank you very much.